So, good evening, everyone. I am Dedipya from Hey Foodie, welcoming our guest for today, Mr. Preetham Bhadra, CEO and Chief Facilitator of Vision X Training System. He is also a motivational speaker and corporate trainer. He has also mentored 3,000 plus students, and he's been a global learning consultant to professionals across 150 countries. Sir, on the behalf of entire Hey Foodie team, I welcome you to our show.
Yeah, thank you so much, Didipriya, and that was a great introduction. Really liked it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So now over to our host for today, Vidisha.
Sure.
A very warm welcome to you on Healthy Chat with Hey Foodie. So before we start with our healthy chat, let me tell you something what Hey Foodie is. So Hey Foodie is all about creating awareness about what is the importance of health, healthy food, and especially the most important thing that is homemade food. So we are a subscription based platform. We provide food to all individuals. We have provide foods to various students of various schools, and we promote घर का खाना, which is all the most and the one of the most healthiest thing we have. So on that note, a very warm welcome to you on Healthy Chat with Hey Foodie.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Vidisha. Great to see the work that you guys are doing because I really miss my home cooked food staying in Bangalore. But yeah, that's how the life is.
Exactly. So since I heard from Didipya that you are a motivational speaker, so if I ask
Yeah.
you when it comes about convincing people and motivating them, what is the few highlighting things which you tell them to do
In terms of what?
in terms of I guess mental health, because this is something very important these days.
Okay. See, motivating and influencing people is a key quality that I believe that every professional, every student, every parent needs to have. Because if you're not having, we are losing out
Exactly.
opportunities in our life. Okay. So for example, I came into this interview on Wood because there was Priya who convinced me in order to get into this. So these skills are mandatory in order to succeed no matter what you're doing. That's the first thing. Second thing, talking about mental health is, yeah, it's a big concern because when I was small, all these things used to be taken as a shadow, something that not important, but now I see it's become such an important case. And yes, not everybody can actually go through hardships and hard problems the ways few people can, and it all depends on the way they are, they are going through they are brought actually. For example, if my last 5 years I have been going through hardship, I've seen challenges and everything, then it's okay if I can see challenges in the future. But for someone who is very new or new to the system, was very young and has not gone through some problems, at that point of time it takes a hit because uncertain situation and uncertain times can actually create a lot of impact on people's mind, right? So that's the thing, awareness becomes a very most and key thing, that whether you're aware of what you're doing and how you're doing it. And the second most important thing is the people around you, right? If the people around you are encouraging, people around you are supporting, it's going to help that person who's going through a tough problem come out of it easily. And if there are people who are depressing, if people who are complaining and asking more questions to you and creating an environment where they're pulling your leg all the time, at that point of time is going to be very difficult. So having a great company becomes the utmost need in these difficult times. And if you don't have a company and you feel like you're alone, better be alone, work on yourself rather than asking going for people who are already sad and will put you also down. So that is very important. For me, it has worked very well that if I have a good company, that's great. If I don't have a good company, I keep all my doors shut and I keep working on myself. That's how I've been going through this. Yeah, Vidisha.
Yeah, just a second. Yeah, so that was really nice knowing it from you. Well, if I ask you to describe what social health is, how would you put it in your own words? What social health is according to you?
Social health. I feel we have actually disrupted social health because of this pandemic situation, wherein neither we are discussing more with people, we are mingling with people, we're going around with people, and that's actually impacted a lot. We are not in colleges, we are not going to offices, and we're not interacting and mixing with people, sharing our ideas, sharing our problems and pain points and all these things, which actually helped us before the pandemic situation to, to actually reduce the pressure. But now staying at home all the time on our desks, on our laptops, day and night, and actually it's been a headache. Actually, it does not matter what people say that you're saving time. It actually is, the productivity is decreasing. And yeah, I mean, the only way is to have this kind of communication as much as possible, video conferences, so that you can still be in touch. May not be physically, you cannot get social like that physically, but yeah, on the virtual world you can get. And I think it's also very, very important, rather than, just being in the closed doors and working day and night, whether you're not interacting with people. Because see, everybody says that this digital world is there and will be there, that's for sure, but it's not going to be like you're always going to work from home, or you're going to continue, or students are going to be at their home and never going to go to school. Because if that is not happening, human beings, the basic ideology of human beings, how human tribes were formed, is basically on collaboration, on working together. If that is not happening now, it's going to affect the human system. So we will eventually go out and we will eventually socialize, but it's just about the time that we have till now. I think we have to adjust and work with the virtual world. And I think this is a virtual socializing, I would say.
Absolutely, it is like, this virtual thing has gotten so common. Schools, offices, like even small things, family gathering are getting, on the this virtual platform. That's again a very new normal we have been introduced to. So, like, I have been hosting a lot of chat show with Hey Foodie, and there have been different guests coming, and they have given a very different definition of health. What is health according to them? Someone said that is happiness. It's related to happiness. Someone
Mhm.
said eating healthy, staying fit is good health. So, I would like to know it from you. What's your perspective about health?
Okay. So I'll take you back a few years back when I got started. I never thought that I will become a speaker and a trainer professionally, or I will pursue that throughout my career. What I wanted to become in my life was to join the Indian Navy as a flying officer. I want to fly jets for the Indian Navy, and I was pretty well, aligned to my path that I was going through. I was getting trained from ex-army and ex-navy officers, and that those years of my college actually shaped me and made me realize the importance of health. And health, that it means two things for me, that is mentally, and the second thing is physically. Okay, mentally means whether I'm in the right state in order to observe and learn or not. That's the first thing. And the second thing is whether I'm fit enough in order to carry order the tasks that I have in my hand, or things that I have to do in future. If I am not mentally healthy, it's going to impact my physical performance. If I am not physically healthy, it's going to impact my mental performance and my ability to take tasks at one. So for me, it's two things: mental health and physical health, and both works in synchrony. If there's only even one thing actually gets impacted, the result won't be as efficient and as appropriate as you might have thought. So that's the take from my side according to health.
Okay, so well, you look quite fit. So, would you like to share your fitness tips with us? Like, what do you do on a daily basis to maintain your health and everything?
Okay, so again, fitness, mental fitness is something that I do. If I look fit, you mean to say my physical fitness? So it all got started from getting up early in the morning and going for the walks, and that is something I used to do a few years ago. And then I went on to gyms, and I used to do some gymming, and I also was doing last year as well. But now what happening is, because of the pandemic situation, all the time schedule and everything has got haywire. Okay, so where the person who used to get up at 6, now I get up at 9. I used to sleep at 10, now I sleep at 1, right? So though the system is working, but the time schedule has shifted. And I don't prefer going out much because of the situation that's happening outside. I can't go to the gym. I have the membership, but there's no point of going to the gym. And the third thing is that if I don't go out, if I don't become healthy, then it's going to impact my efficiency. So what I do is, now at this point of time in these situations, I have some sets for myself, for some equipments at my home. It does not matter if it's 9 a.m., it's 10, 12, even it's 1 p.m. It does not matter. I get up, I have around half an hour for myself. I do my exercise, I do my push-ups, I do my squats, I take a bath, I'm fresh, and then I get back to work and whatever I'm doing. So as there is no time schedule now, that's the reason why all those things are shifted. But I made sure that at least half an hour I put in for my physical effort, because that also gives the confidence. If I am lazy, if I'm lethargic, if I have a pot belly, I won't have that energy that's coming out. And for me, for a speaker and a trainer, for every influencer, energy is everything. Energy is business, energy is influencing, energy is convincing. If you don't have energy, people are not going to trust you. If you don't have energy, business is not going to happen, deals are getting lost. So I need to have that energy, and for that I have to have a schedule wherein at least I can take half an hour, does not matter at what point of time in the day, but I have to take it in order to keep my physical health intact. So that's what I do for half an hour at least a day.
That's cool. That's really cool, and that's the reason you have maintained yourself in this pandemic situation as well. Like few days back, I was going through a lot of articles and researches and everything, and I came across a point where this COVID-19 or the pandemic, which just came in our country, some have considered it to be a blessing, and some have considered it to be a curse.
Yeah.
So, like, what what is your opinion according to it? Is a curse or it is a blessing? Because I would like to give one example sort of reason so that you are able to get what I'm trying to say. See, few scientists are considering it to be a blessing, since that we human had a very bad habit of just running without taking rest, without giving ourselves a break, hampering nature, misusing natural resources and everything. And whereas this is why it's somewhere turned to be a blessing, that the nature has got break, the humans have got break, they have start learning how to adapt few things. And the reason it's being called curses, obviously there are some Indian scientists and Indian researchers who are telling that it's a curse because it has somewhere damaged the whole, you can say, the development of a country. And since India is a developing country, it's facing a lot of things. So, and there are other many more reasons. So, what it is according to you? It is a curse or it's a blessing?
Okay. So according to me, first I thought it's a curse that it's not going to work out for me. My training and everything, establishment, all the engagements, all plannings and meeting is not working. But then I thought that, see, there's one thing that every human beings need to develop no matter what, and we have it, but the time period matters, that is resilience. How quickly can you get back up? Okay, it's been a problem that is, I mean, if people are saying it's a curse, there is no doubt. People are dying. Okay, people are losing jobs, people are getting bankrupt, companies are losing revenue. Okay, so obviously it's a problematic situation. You can't deny that it's a good situation. It is a problematic situation. But the thing is, can you utilize the things, the new opportunity which is coming your way? For example, so from where you are tuning in, from where I am tuning in, if this would have been a personal interview where in one-to-one session would have been established, maybe I have to, fly out there in order to meet you. But that is, in this situation, is something that people are recognizing. Even teachers, parents, students, professionals are gathering up and using this technology in order to improve yourself. Yes, there are people, there are a chunk of people who still complain about the things, but there are a huge and a majority, I would say, chunk of people who have realized that they have to make the most of this situation of the time. And if they are not making the most of this time, they're going to be 10 years down the line, because people are moving ahead very fast. So it's all depends on your resilience, whether you can get back up or not. That's the reason why all my meetings, all my videos on my YouTube channel, the frequency has increased and everything has increased, because I know that there's a huge opportunity down here, no matter what is going on outside my doors. I do understand that there is a problematic situation, but the company has to survive. People, I have to give revenue, I have to earn for myself. you know People are getting jobs. That has to happen. We have to adapt for new changes. One more thing I will suggest, I'd like to discuss here is, before this pandemic situation, I was working in an organization wherein I was a global learning consultant, as was described. And I was mentoring, I won't say mentoring, I was consulting professionals across 150 plus countries. Okay. And the pandemic gradually hit China, and after it hit Europe, and then America, and then Africa, Australia, and then came in India. At that point of time, the whole world was like on a standstill, and every single thing that people thought would be there they're having their amazing future, all those plans got disrupted. And when all these plans get disrupted, people get into a panic mode, right? However, because I used to discuss with them and learn from them, because that's the best part of being a consultant is it's not only you giving them knowledge, it's because also that you taking knowledge from them and learning yourself. So I realized that there are people, very few chunk, but there are people who are making the most of this in the online world, and they are making it big. And when I saw that if they are making it big, why can't I make it big when I started my own training and all my stuff? And then I see it's so according to me, there is a chunk wherein it is a bad phase. You cannot deny the number of people getting affected and dying, but there's also a huge amount of opportunity where people can get back up and do the things the way the modern world is. And the world is speeding so fast. Jobs are not the way jobs used to be. You can't just give a CV and think that the recruiter is going to call you and get you a good opportunity. It's not there. It's not there. Things have changed a lot. Okay, so you have to build your own brand, you have to market, you have to communicate, you have to deliver, you have to showcase that you are the best. Working from home also have realized that you don't have to go to offices. So shifting to Bangalore, Mumbai, Kolkata, Delhi, Gurgaon has all gone disrupted. You can work from home. That also made you realize that someone who's operating from Assam, from Meghalaya can also do the job of a person who is there in the Bangalore. So it's not required that that you have to come here, you don't have opportunities. Now it's a plain field, I feel, but it's only for those who can actually make the most of it and have that kind of mindset. So that mental health also becomes a very important part. So I see as an opportunity, no matter what, I'm trying to get the most of it and in whichever way I can. And at the same time, see, not everybody is equipped with modern technologies and learning things. So you have to learn, and learning is a skill. Okay. uh, because from starting of my career, I've been associated with learning only. First, I mentored 3,000 students when I was in a company. So it's a fast growing company that is going to be a unicorn. And then I went into a company wherein I was consulting people, and then I got to become a trainer. So I realized that it is very important. You have to do it. Okay. You have to learn. And learning is a skill is because not everybody wants to learn. My 12th is done, my graduation is done. Why should I learn? Okay. But it's only when I went into the corporate and I realized when I consulted people, there are people who are willing to pay lakhs of rupees in order to learn so they can get ahead and have a good future for themselves. So that is the reason why there's a very trending videos are going on social media that our education system has actually gone down so much. It's not gone down so much because we have made people believe that either you do 10 very well and then you do 12, you get a good percentage, you get to a good university, you graduate and your life is set. That is just a myth. It's just a start. Okay, you have to be a learner lifelong in order to be reaching great heights. If you don't want to reach great heights, you can just be a normal guy, tune into your Amazon and Netflix and chill in life. Nothing is going to happen. You're just going to go normal the way you want. But if you want to make the most of it, you have to keep learning. Whether it is operating a Zoom conference like this, editing videos, marketing yourself, learn content marketing, learn to establish yourself in the online domain where people can know you so that you can get opportunities. So yes, learning is also becomes a very key important thing, and I feel that people who are able to understand this are also investing a lot of money at this point of time, because when this pandemic gets over, nobody's going to ask you what you did in this pandemic, why you lost the job or all these things, because it's a crisis. But what people are going to ask you is how much you learned, how you utilize this time. And if you can utilize this time properly, it's going to help you after the pandemic is over, when the economy is going to get up. So that's my take.
Absolutely right. I agree to most of your points, and in a way, you just give us a gist of what is gonna happen or what is actually happening. So, like, since I mentioned it before that we are from Hey Foodie, and we always welcome foodies with open heart. So I would like to know that how fond are you of food, and do you love cooking and all? Like, what are
Yeah.
your hook on the field of cooking, being foodie and all?
Okay. So I'm not a great foodie in the sense I don't like eating all the time. Okay. I
Okay.
always crave for delicious food. Okay. I don't need
Yeah.
in a huge quantity, but I need in a certain quantity so I crave for great food. But I'm also the kind of guy who can easily do with simple food. I'm not the guy who's going to complain Even if I get simple food, you get some dal, you get some rice, you get some aloo chokha and all that, I'm still okay with it. I can continue it for months if I'm going through crisis. And that's what I learned when I was getting trained for the armed forces. Those officers made me realize that you won't have everything all the time. Okay. And having this great food and great delicacies, is something that I always wanted, but I cannot have. I do understand that. And at this point of time, when my cook is not coming to my flat, I don't have my cook. What I do is I learned from having my own tea to having my own sandwich, till then making rice, making dal, and then building dishes and all this thing. Yes, I do order sometime from outside, but yes, I'm not a great foodie, that I don't like to eat every single time in a huge way, but I'll always love that I should have at least one good dish that I order once a week. So I always crave for. I also go to these YouTube channels wherein they showcase the street food, and they go to restaurants and big restaurants and they show food. I love that. So I like to have that once a week, and that also makes me, like the calorie intake and everything also keeps intact. Otherwise, it's going to be really problematic, because I have faced this when I was in college. I used to eat a lot. I mean, I used to study all day, and after that, I used to order food almost every second day, and because of which I had some health issues at a very early age. And doctor told me that it's time, Preetham, that you take control of your food eating habits. Otherwise, it's going to be a big problem. And that is something my father was facing. I didn't want to face this early. I thought that it's time that I change my eating habits and stop eating food from outside, and that too very rich and spicy. Because see, at young age you always want rich and spicy food, so I also used to crave for that. But I changed that, and now it's like whatever I can get my hands on, whatever I can cook, I do it.
Absolutely. Like, like a few minutes before you mentioned, like in the starting of the show, that you also miss ghar ka khana, the
Yeah,
homemade food. So, like,
yeah.
tell us the story. Like, why do you miss it? Like, what's the reason that you find homemade food so delicious than compared to the food outside?
Okay. So when I was in my home, I never used to feel like this. I used to feel like, because I'm come from a Bengali family wherein fish is constant every day. You'll have fish every day. And I was like, why fish every day? Why fish every day? And that was to be very normal for me. And that's the reason why I used to neglect it. See, this is what happens, right? When you have everything at your own plate, you don't give the value, but you don't have it, you understand how important it was. Now when I cook food for myself, now when I have to pay people to cook food for me, now when I pay people to get the order to my home, I realize that how delicious my mother's cooking was. And I really miss everything that my mother cooks. I always call and and ask my parents that what is the fish dish that you have today and everything. And for Bengalis, if you know, food is like everything. People will sell stuff in order to have great food on their table. And I am also the kind of a guy who wants to have great food, but in a chunk, obviously. But yeah, I miss food because it's simple. At the same time, I love it. I miss. So you cannot get the way your mother presents the food, the way you go to a restaurant or you cook for yourself. You just cannot get that. So I can't say that why I miss it. It's just that I miss it because I have my own experiences when I used to eat at home. I miss that experience, I would say. That experience is very something that I miss, rather than the food. So yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, that's the case with every individual who's working out or staying away from the family. That's
Yeah.
when we actually realize that our माँ के हाथ का खाना is माँ के हाथ का खाना. No
True,
matter
true.
how expensive food you get it from outside, you'll never be that satisfied when you'll be with the food prepared by a mom. So, well, it's time for us to entertain one audience question. So, I'll get
Sure,
in the chat box. I'll quickly read out the question for you, and you
sure,
will just have to answer. Okay.
sure, sure.
So, well, we have Mr. Dipesh, and his question for you is one thing which keeps you motivated to move ahead on daily basis. So, what would your answer
Yeah.
be on this question?
Yeah. So as I said, that when I started off with this pandemic situation and all that, I felt bad that I had plans for 2020. I was making videos. I was going to go for trainings and everything. And if you know, the training market has actually got a great hit now. Corporate trainings are not that happening, not that often. So I felt bad. I really felt bad and I felt low. And I feel everybody feels bad. Okay. just always fine. A motivational speaker also cannot be motivated every single time, and that is totally fine. But the question is, can you get back up after that? Can you improvise a strategy? I realized my goal still remains the same. What I did on the 1st of January 2020, I had a list. This is what I want to achieve. Number of impacting people, number of training, my paid sessions and all these things, my brand building and all that. And it's still there, right? That 2020 is still not over. I have to still get it. Yes, the pace may be slow because I have to adapt and I have to learn. But that is the thing. Still have a goal. When you have a purpose, how can you sit back and relax or you feel bad? You either find if this straight way is not working, you go ahead and go a tangent way and maybe that works. If not that, you ask people. You keep figuring out. That's what I do all the time. I keep figuring out, how do I edit my videos in a better way? How do I make sure that my videos are more compelling? How do I make sure that my training sessions are better? Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So that is something that is very important for me. I have a goal that was there also 8 months ago when I started the year. It's still there for me, right? The only thing is I have to achieve the goal, but how do I do it? And when people feel that that it's not my cup of tea, everything is gone and all these things, is because the normal way is gone. Okay, abnormal way is still there. Okay, but you have to figure it out, and that needs sometimes a bit of effort and a bit of encouragement from yourself. External motivation lasts for a very short period of time. It's about internal motivation. I had a target, I need to achieve it by hook or by crook. So but if one way is not working, I'll figure out a way, and that keeps me busy. Even if I'm staying alone, I'm not going and meeting out people, it's sometimes a bit restricting, but that's fine for me. I mean, where the day passes, I don't even understand now. So it's totally fine for me. And if you're someone who's being hit by the problems, you need to have a target why you're doing things. Most of us just earn money or do things just because we have to do it. If you have a purpose, I think you will find a way. Because for example, let's say you want to go and meet your parents, okay, and you think that your flight is not working and your flight is stopped. Okay, but you have to go and meet your parents, right? So what you will do, you will figure out, okay, can I go through a train if that's possible? If not, can I go through a vehicle? Okay, can I ride my own vehicle and go out there? See, there are people in this pandemic wherein I'm sure that you have seen in news as well, from those migrants, okay, those daily wage workers, they had to go to their home because they could not survive with the expensive city, and they're not having work, so they has to go to their villages. How they did? They're not having flights, they're not having buses and all. They went through foot. It was a problematic situation. The government was not helping or whatever it was, but they had to go there, and they did. And it was such a great media coverage, right? So we all are facing this kind of situation. It's just like, if one way is not working, you need to choose the other way, and keep figuring out till you get it. So that's the answer I would say.
Absolutely right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for answering all the questions. And it was lovely talking to you and coming across to so much of unknown facts. I hope you had a great time with us here on Hey Foodie.
I had a great time. Thank you so much for hosting me here.
Yeah, it's our pleasure. Well, you can share the same chat show with your parents as well.
Sure.
It's going to be on YouTube. You'll get the link. And we at Hey Foodie have our own way of showing love and respect to the guest speaker who come and spare the time with us. So you'll be receiving a participation certificate from our side
Okay.
on your mail. So do accept it, and Hey
Amazing.
Foodie
Sure.
wishes and prayers for you and your family's good health. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Divya. Thank you so much.